Hello and welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with 70 straight weeks of spotlights on our favorite Muppet characters, from the most popular to the most obscure. I'm this week's host, Noah Ginex, and the Muppet of the Week is Beauregard, performed by Dave Goelz, designed by Michael Frith, and built by Mary Castle. Or Castle, or Castle, or Kessel, or Kessel Run.
I think it's Mari Kessel. I think is how I've heard Muppet people pronounce it.
Mari Kessel.
I think it's Kessel.
Great. I'm this week's host, Noah Ginex, and the Muppet of the Week is Beauregard, making his world debut in 1978. My guests today are Beauregard and Jovial.
Is that why you asked us to be here? Because our names rhyme with Bo?
No, it was just a little bit of serendipity. But my guests today are Joe Hennes and Ryan Rowe. Hello.
Hi, I'm the one who's Ryan.
I'm the one who's not Ryan. That's how you can tell us apart.
Before we started recording, all three of us pointed out that we have done zero prep work for this episode.
Correct.
And that's exactly how much prep work Beauregard would do. So I think we're all in a good place.
Yes.
He debuted in episode 310. Do we know which episode that was?
It was the Marisa Berenson episode. And I know that because I've got his Muppet Wiki page up in front of me. But right. It's also because he debuted in the Do Re Mi sketch, right? Is that his first appearance?
Oh, really? I
don't know if that's his first appearance. I have to look at the episode itself. But like he's got like a different voice in that episode. Like he's like a country yokel. Like, gee whiz, you know?
But it's still Dave?
Yeah, it's still Dave. Yeah, he just like hadn't landed on the voice yet.
It's funny because the entire reason Beauregard exists is because he loved the character of Wendell Porcupine so much that he wanted to continue doing that character. And
yeah, that's what I remember hearing. So maybe at first he was trying to differentiate it from Wendell a little bit and then just decided he can just have the same voice as Wendell.
Yeah, because nobody remembers Wendell.
So then he doesn't really get a formal introduction on the Muppet Show. It sounds like if Do Re Mi was his first sketch, he's just there and Kermit is addressing him by name. It's not like, meet our new stagehand or meet our new...
Although, you know who else made their grand debut in the Marisa Berenson episode? New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand.
Oh, really?
And New Zealand is given an introduction.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So Beauregard's just behind him being like, I'm here too. Oh, okay. I'll go sweep up.
But we love them both.
If that was the first episode in production order of that season. And that's why.
It's too bad there's no way to find out.
I don't know.
Of course, later that season was like the Harry Belafonte episode, which was the first episode back from the Muppet movie, which is why all the characters look fresh and new. And,
yeah, some of them got rebuilt.
Yeah.
And not only like one of the best episodes of the Muppet Show, in my humble opinion, but like Beauregard really shines in that one. Like Beauregard's really funny in the Banana Boat songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought these was Peaches.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's great. I love Beauregard. He's always been one of my favorite characters.
When I was in college, I had a friend he was actually my guest on the Floyd episode of this podcast, Rob Zajac. And we used to get together and we would watch Muppet stuff like once a week. We would just like get some friends together and just like order pizza and watch Muppet stuff, which was super fun. For some reason, we really like glommed onto Beauregard's scene in The Great Muppet Caper as like our favorite thing. And we would quote it all the time to the point where we were like misquoting it all the time. And like you know, where like you quote something a lot and then like it just gets bigger and bigger, and then you watch it again years later and you're like, oh no, we were way off.
Yeah.
But we did a lot.
You've gotten so used to like your version of it that's the one that sounds right.
Yeah. Like we would like very often would just be like, I could only take you as far as the lobby, and like
I have heard you say that line, Joe, just out of context. Like,
yes. Because Rob and I would do that, and we would literally, it got to the point where we would just see each other, and we would go, lobby.
And you knew what it meant.
You knew what it meant. It meant nothing, but we said it anyway.
It's interesting.
It meant you both love Beauregard.
We love Beauregard.
You bring up that scene because his taxi was featured in that year's Macy's Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah.
With Ed Christie wearing a Beauregard costume, driving Jim and Cheryl and Heather Henson around the actual parade, completely blind.
I have seen that taxi cab. I believe it used to be in the queue for the backlot tour at Disney World.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was so. That's definitely the same taxi.
It's the same taxi as the parade, but it's not the same taxi that was used in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I thought there was some sort of some difference there.
Yeah, because it says Muppet Cab Co. on the side, which is not in the movie.
It wouldn't be in the movie.
Right,
Yeah, he's just a London cab driver.
Right. But in the parade, that's the one they're using.
But his cab is yellow, and London cabs are all black.
So he's lucky to have a driver's license.
That's true. Yeah.
When I think about Beauregard, one thing I think of is there was this book called Muppet Madness, which I think was like the American version of something called the Muppet Annual that was published in the UK. On the back cover, there are these photos of Kermit and Beauregard with word balloons. Do you have it, Joe? You're holding something up.
Yeah, I've got it right in front of me. Yes, it's a picture of Beauregard and Kermit the Frog. Beauregard's looking kind of angry.
Yeah, he's got his eyebrows down.
He's a little, a little agitated.
Or he's thinking.
And he says, "I'm fed up with sweeping up after you guys all the time." And Kermit says, "Why don't you get another job, Beauregard?" And he says, "What? And leave showbiz?"
Yeah,
which is isn't that a George the Janitor joke?
That's that. Okay, so that's one of 2 points I was going to make. That joke was never done on the Muppet Show by Beauregard. That joke was done by George the Janitor in an earlier season.
So he steals his job and then he steals his joke.
Yeah, wow, Beauregard is a thief. But also that I was maybe 5 years old when I got that Muppet Madness book, so I didn't know why that joke was funny, and I also didn't know that it's probably a very old joke that goes back to like vaudeville. So Beauregard is just continuing a classic entertainer's tradition.
Sure. So I'm leafing through this book right now, which I haven't looked at in many years. Beauregard has his own page with an activity because there's activities in this book. Do you want to guess what his activities are? It's one page of like what the category is, I guess.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked.
It's to do with a mop, I'm guessing.
He is holding a mop in the picture, but
is it like spot the differences, like 2 pictures?
No, it is not.
Is it like a maze or like some sort of thing where you have to like travel along?
You're much closer with that. It's Beauregard's brain twisters.
Oh,
and there's 3 of them. One is a picture with a bunch of squares, and you have to guess how many squares are in it. And then there's a thing with who are these Muppets, and I guess. Oh, it's like a bunch of pictures, and you have to use the first letter of each one to spell out a Muppet. And then there's a thing that you have. I think you have to like cut these shapes out, and then you can rearrange them into a circle.
That's funny though, because I feel like Beauregard would be very bad at all of those brain twisters.
Yes, he is not a smart man.
No.
So it's interesting that this episode is coming out relatively soon after the Andy and Randy episode, Joe, that you hosted. Because do you think it's fair to say that until Andy and Randy, Beauregard was the dumbest of the Muppet Show family of characters?
That's a good question.
Interesting.
Andy and Randy are dumber, I would say. They are stupider than Beauregard.
Is like, if you really think about it, like a lot of Muppets can be described as being extremely dumb. For example, like the Swedish Chef is dumb. Like he's dumb about like a specific thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Beauregard, he's known for being dumb. Like that's his personality trait. He is a dumb.
He's a classic, like, dumb guy type of character, right?
So here's a question about Beauregard. What is he?
What I always think of is when Sam is backstage writing an angry letter to somebody important because he's detested, and he describes Beauregard as a lump playing harmonica. So according to Sam, Beauregard is a lump.
And I thought for years that's what that was his species, was a lump.
I kind of like that, yeah. I mean, I think he always kind of just looked very rodent-y to me.
Yeah.
So like I kind of think of him as like not like a groundhog or something like that. I don't know, just like some
Could
sort
he
of.
be like an overgrown Frackle? Because he's got sort of like the beak and
No,
it's
because
not quite.
Frackles. We learned from the oral history of Mo Frackle that Frackles are very clearly defined as having like a separate beak from the fur, and Beauregard does not have that.
Yeah.
It says here in the Muppets Annual 1981, Beauregard is his last name, and he forgot what his first name was, and Beau was relatively easy to spell. He's forgotten who his parents are and where he originally lived, and at the age of 3, he was a lumberjack. Later in life, he accidentally boarded the wrong bus and wound up in the city. While looking for work, he stumbled upon the Muppet Theater and took the job as janitor. The profile also states that he lives in a burrow, sustaining on food from a garden above.
So a lot of information.
So that adds to the rodent theory.
And
Yeah, I guess so.
the Gilchrist brothers, in their comic strip, invented that Beauregard's father was the inventor of unleaded gasoline. But I don't know that I would take that as canon.
It's still funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if he's inspired by Wendell Porcupine, maybe he's like a hedgehog or something that's closely related to the porcupine.
Oh, could be.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, and Noah and I were talking about this very briefly before we started recording, is so the picture that I feel like most people know, like that stock photo of Beauregard, is that he's like holding an anvil. And I get like we're supposed to get out of that he's strong, but like that doesn't really come up very often. So I'm curious, like, what do you think about the anvil thing?
I did see on the Muppet Wiki page that it mentioned that he's very strong, which I don't think of that as being a primary characteristic of Beauregard at all. Like, he's dumb, he's naive, he's friendly.
They never went into it.
Well, some of his early appearances, like, I'm drawing a blank on which episodes it is, but like, I'm picturing him like, which one is it that he fills the backstage with sand? Is that it's Helen Reddy?
Helen Reddy, because
the Helen Reddy episode, he's dragging stuff back and forth, throughout that episode.
Just effortlessly heavy things, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I still just don't really think of that as being part of Beauregard's thing, but I guess it was early on at least.
He also provided my favorite character moment in probably the entire history of the Muppet Show for Piggy in the Joan Baez episode, because he gets taken advantage of by all the rats. And Piggy has this wonderful moment that I always point to as like the depth of Piggy, because she's so one note now that she puts her arm around Bo and she's like, the rats don't care about you. They're using you, and it's a side that we never saw, pretty much ever since. And it's an amazing facet of hers that I wish, could make a comeback.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's hard for a lot of characters to be put next to Miss Piggy, because she tends to react to most of them the same way. And Beauregard, the first thing I think of with the two of them together is the Muppets of Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Where she becomes a foil for him, because he's like, let's go on all these rides. And she's, getting knocked all over the place.
Right.
And, it's not often that we see someone really unintentionally get the best of Miss Piggy without it being at the end of her story arc of her.
Right. He's in control and she has no control.
Yeah.
But unintentionally, he's not being malicious.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have a malicious bone in his
Bo isn't being
body.
malicious, but I'm guessing, just behind the scenes guessing, that Dave wanted to take advantage of Frank the way that Jerry Jewell had taken advantage of him on Fraggle Rock. By like, let's make Frank ride this roller coaster 97 times.
But haven't they said in interviews, I think in pretty recent interviews, I think they've said that Frank didn't ride any of those thrill rides at Disney World, that Dave did. Like, Dave was Piggy and Beauregard, maybe?
Okay,
or
that makes sense.
I'm getting my information. I don't remember all of it, but
no, if
I
nothing
don't
else,
think Frank Oz rode those thrill rides.
Okay. If nothing else, that special was written by Jerry Jewell, so it may have been Jerry Jewell like, "Gotcha again, Dave."
Could be. Well, when you talk about specific Beauregard moments, I remember seeing the Muppets 2011 movie for the first time, and when they're cleaning up the old Muppet Theater, and Scooter finds Beauregard in the closet where he's apparently been for 30 years or whatever it is. That got such a big laugh at the first screening I went to. That just Beauregard just completely ignorant to the fact that everybody left and he's just been inside this closet for all those years.
I feel like that's a really good use of Beauregard.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, yes, we like fans missed him all these years, but at the same time, it's
right, because he kind of went away.
Yeah, but it's like, he's back now, and like we don't need an explanation.
And he's not mad. He's just like, oh, hi, Scooter, what are you doing here? And then in Muppets Most Wanted too, when he's driving the train, that stuff is all great. When he's sticking his head out the window of the train and going choo choo, yeah.
And then he drives it backwards, right? Like
I think at one point,
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I heard somewhere that there was some deleted stuff with Beauregard in the train, like more scenes there that we didn't get. But yeah, again, great use of Beauregard. Although I do find it interesting, and this is maybe a topic for like a Tough Pigs article or something, of how certain Muppets are now known for driving, basically being Beauregard, Fozzie Bear, Dr. Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if you're going to be in a Studebaker, Fozzie has to be driving. If you're going to be in the Electric Mayhem bus, Dr. Teeth is driving. Now, of course, like in the recent Muppets Mayhem, they all kind of took turns driving, I think.
Did they?
No, actually, maybe not. I think
don't
some of the
remember.
montages they are.
Okay.
But maybe you're right. Maybe it's mostly Dr. Teeth. But either way, it's just like, oh, how interesting that like, okay, we're going to have a train in this thing. Okay, well, Beauregard's back, so we got to just put him at the helm.
Yeah, which
Beauregard's
character is going to be driving? Yeah, why not Beauregard? Huh.
right?
And
Who else
was
drives?
Fozzie driving the truck when they go to his mom's house for?
Yes, and
Yes.
Okay.
I believe he's driving the van. Oh no,
He's
sorry,
driving
the
the Mayhem bus in Muppets from
In Muppets
Space.
in Space,
Yep,
yeah.
Yep. So really, what we're
Sure.
saying is Beauregard should have been with the group in Muppets from Space.
Yeah.
As they're going to rescue.
Oh, that would have been fun. And see, Dave Goelz was there on that production.
Yeah,
Yes.
they probably
Gonzo is the
wouldn't.
star of that movie.
They wouldn't have left Bunsen and Beaker at the gas station then.
Right.
Probably. If,
I
Right.
bet you Beauregard would have left more people at the gas station. Actually,
Maybe he would have left
he would have
all
left
of them.
himself. At
He
the
would have
gas
left
station.
himself. That's it. Yeah.
Hey, the bus is leaving without me. You know,
As it goes down a hill in neutral.
Oh well.
Do you remember the I think this was on Muppets.com, the videos of like Better Living with Bobo and Beauregard?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about those.
That was kind of the only thing we saw of Beauregard for a long time in those years when they weren't really using him. And it's kind of surprising how well Bobo and Beauregard work together.
And do you think it's because they were similarly like live hand puppets that were sort of a similar size-ish that
Maybe they're both kind of bulky.
yeah.
But also, like, I just like their personalities. There's something really fun about putting these dumb characters together and letting
Yeah.
them bounce off each other, and things get dumber and dumber as it goes. So there's no one
Right.
being like, "Hang on, Bo, like you can't do that. You can't drive
Yeah.
the wrong way down the street." It's just like, nope, we're just getting dumb, and it's
Yeah.
going to keep getting dumber.
Yeah, they're both kind of guileless. Like one of them is a workout. Beauregard is lifting Bobo, like he's lifting weights, so he has to pick Bobo up, and it's because Bobo is such a huge puppet.
Yeah.
But again, like you're saying, Beauregard isn't going to be like, no, I'm not going to try to pick you up. This is ridiculous. He just goes along with it.
Because he's so strong.
He lifts that anvil.
I guess-
That's what he's known
Right.
for. He's
Yeah,
holding
apparently.
an anvil under one arm,
He was
Yeah.
training.
prop in the other.
He was training with that anvil to pick up Bobo, and it's twice the bow.
So many bows.
Oh yeah, Bo and Bobo.
Did you
Maybe
just
that's
get
why
that?
they did this.
Now what they need is Muppets need to create a character named Bobo
Bobo.
Yeah.
and put all three of them together.
Yes. Good.
I'm always excited when there are scenes that are the full Electric Mayhem, only it's different characters. Like it's all, like 4 or 5 of them together. But it's like Sam's song in that, whatever episode that is
Yeah, one of my favorites.
like
Yeah.
one of the best sketches because it's like
it is the
Floyd and
Christopher
Janice on
Reeve
guitar.
episode, by the
It's
way.
the Christopher Reeve episode, and it's Sam. It's Sam the Eagle. So it's Frank like walking around being mad at everything, and then Beauregard and Floyd and Janice. And is Kermit
think-
in it? No,
No,
Nigel.
Nigel.
Because he's
Oh
whistling.
yeah, Nigel
Right.
whistles.
Yeah.
And then I think
Rizzo
there's
the
a rat,
rat.
right? Yeah,
Rizzo,
there's a
like
rabbit.
early Rizzo is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I hear
it's
what you're
all-
saying though. Like that feeling of like the whole gang, everyone gets a character.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know, it's like when you see, I know these aren't Beauregard things. Well, I guess he's technically in it, but like opening another show. Everyone gets one character. Beauregard's backstage for that one. pulling
That was
on
going to be
levers.
my other example.
Yeah.
Is that
Or-
like that's another favorite of mine.
What if Beauregard had a girlfriend?
He did the mop.
Oh, his mop, right? Of
Her name was
course.
Beauregard.
Is that from the Muppet Show Live?
Yeah.
I
is
saw that show. I was so young, I don't really remember anything from it. But I have somewhere a program where there's a picture of the full-bodied Beauregard costume with his
Yeah.
mop.
Yeah. Also saw, I don't know, there was 2 Muppet Show Live tours. I saw one of them. I don't know which one.
I saw the second one.
I wish I knew. I wish I could watch them again. Now.
I didn't
Yeah.
see it, but a friend of mine in preschool knew already that I was a huge Muppet nerd and brought me back like a giant button with Kermit the Frog on it.
I have that
Oh,
button.
cool.
Do you?
I have the Kermit button and the Gonzo button from the tour.
Oh wow!
Not from when I saw it. I got them.
Sure. Yeah.
I had a pennant on my wall from the tour. That was my.
I had a
those are
pennant
cool.
from Muppet Babies Live. And
Remember pennants? Remember when when people used to have pennants on their walls? Do you think if Beauregard went to college, he would have a pennant on his wall?
I think Beauregard is absolutely the type to have a lot of school spirit.
Yeah. I don't think he's the type to graduate college. But
No, and he might accidentally cheer for the wrong team if he went to a football game. But yeah,
or
he'd be waving that pennant.
He would be watching, like a chicken race at the bar across the street from the stadium, and be like, "Across the street, there's this other thing that's very loud."
Sure.
And then he'd pick up an anvil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe take this anvil somewhere.
So, what else is there? I don't know.
What do you want to see Beauregard do in the future?
There was this book,
Anything.
Bo Saves the Show, where he loses the key or something.
Yeah, I think I have that on my shelf behind me.
He can't remember where he put the key to the basement or something, and he lets all the monsters out.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had this book as a kid. I loved it. But I'll tell you, you know what? I'll tell you, the thing that threw me off as a kid. This is such a stupid thing, and you should absolutely cut this out. Is on the cover, it's Bo B-O, and I knew his name was Beauregard, and I was like, but it's B-E-A-U.
I have wondered about that, yeah. But I guess the nickname version is B-O.
I mean,
I guess that's not uncommon.
It's not
nickname.
consistent with Muppet stuff if it's B-O or B-E-A-U.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I kind of like
he does
B-E-A-U.
say, just then Beauregard the janitor came in. "Golly, Mr. Kermit," said Bo, B-O. "You look worried."
Can we just do a story time? Delete this whole podcast interview and just do story time with Bo Saves the Show.
You can
You'll
say
know
that
it is
again,
time to turn the
Kermit.
page when you hear Bo's mop ring like this.
Splat.
Yeah.
Oops, I don't know where I put my shoe. Oh, it's on your hand.
Oh, Bo,
That's
you're
not
so
in the book.
dumb.
Beauregard was in the Muppets Race Mania video game.
Was
I
he?
only played it a little bit, but he's driving his taxi. As I recall, he's a boss and he's pretty hard to beat. I think I've only, like I say, I played it for a very limited time years ago, but I remember him being a boss in the game. And at the beginning of the race, he says, "I'm afraid I'm not a very good driver."
That makes sense because he's known for driving. That's it. That's the third thing you know about him. He's dumb, and then he holds an anvil, and then he sometimes drives things.
Yeah.
Is Bo the only character that has never had anyone else play him?
No, look about Gonzo. I mean, you're talking about
No, because
Bunsen.
Gonzo was played by Danny Seagren or whoever when he was the cigar box frack.
As a frackle?
Yeah.
I don't know if does that count?
Bunsen Honeydew.
Bunsen Honeydew was played by Bill Beretta.
No, you're not counting that.
That wasn't a casting
On an
decision,
episode of Muppets Tonight.
That was a dubbing
What
mistake.
are you talking about? I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. But no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No, that's what I'm saying. Has he ever? Is Bo the
we've never
only
heard
one?
anyone else's voice.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's a different question. We're not talking about casting history. No, I mean, not to my knowledge. But
Of characters who are familiar to us, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, did he show up in Little Muppet Monsters or anything? Animated?
Oh, a cartoon? I don't think so.
Ooh.
Probably not. I don't know. I'm
There's
thinking
a-
outside the box here.
There's a depiction of him
so.
from the new Muppet Babies, but I don't think we actually, he's not an acting character.
Has anyone else ever done Zoot?
Yes. Kevin Clash did Zoot on an episode of the Jim Henson Hour.
Oh, okay.
And Dave was Rizzo for half a scene in
Muppet Classic Theater.
Muppet Classic
Remember when
Theater.
we said
Yeah.
we were going to be nitpicking things that no one else cares about?
Well,
I think
okay.
that even most of the people in this podcast interview care about that.
Okay. Johnny Fiamma, Sal,
Oh, yeah.
Clifford, Digit. Short-lived characters, I think it's easier.
Yeah.
What about Annie Sue? I mean, we're talking about speaking roles,
Oh.
not just holding up in the background.
I can't imagine that we ever would have heard anyone else's voice come out of Annie Sue besides
Yeah.
Louise Gold.
How about some of the Fraggle characters too? We're going to the Fraggle Rock.
Boober?
No, because Dave has been there the entire time,
Yeah.
his characters are the ones that are, for the most part still performed.
Right.
by
So
him.
you've got Dave's characters, you've got Bill's characters because he created a lot of those. And he
True. Yeah,
kept them.
Pepe.
And then you got like Steve Whitmire, who did Rizzo and Bean, and no one has picked up those characters since. So
yeah.
Although Bill Beretta did originate Elmo's dad, and it's been played by Tyler for years.
True.
I didn't say not every Bill character. You're nitpicking my nitpicks.
This is what happens when Muppet nerds try to out-nerd each other.
Yeah, really.
I remember when I went to the townhouse in like 1999, and I had for my entire life been like the biggest like Muppet nerd, in any situation. And then I went there for the 3-day training thing or whatever, and everybody else knew way more than I did, and I was like, sit here.
That's something that I actually really struggle with. This has had nothing to do with Beauregard, but like this is something I struggle with on a day-to-day basis, because a lot of people, Ryan, I don't know if you feel this way too, but like a lot of people just assume that because we run Tough Pigs, that we must know more than anyone else, and like that is not true. There's a lot of minutiae that I don't know.
Yeah, we know a lot, but there are certain areas of knowledge where, for example, we didn't know who the guest star was in episode 310. There are people who could tell you give them the episode number, they can tell you who the guest star was, any episode of The Muppet Show, that kind of thing. I've never...
There's people who memorized like episode numbers for Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And like, good on you. I don't know what episode 3824 is.
Yeah.
But someone does.
Yeah, or like what episode number did Maria and Luis get married? I don't know. Right. I have no idea what episode number that was.
Right. And here's the other thing is like, as I get older, I'm forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm forgetting normal stuff. So like that Muppet information, a lot of that's going to stay, but a lot of it is not going to stick around.
Yeah. For that exact reason, I'm glad that like I got a tattoo last year, and I'm so glad that my first tattoo was not a Muppet, because I was so worried for so long that like when I finally got a tattoo, it was going to be something Muppet related. And I'm so sick of like I don't know if you guys like experience this all the time, but when somebody comes up to you and say, "Hey, I thought of you the other day."
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's about Muppets.
On a daily basis, that happens.
Oh, it's kind of nice though. I mean,
sometimes it's nice.
If it's like, we've talked about this before, if it's the same old cartoon of the Sesame Street Muppets around the Thanksgiving table, and they've cooked a big bird, and somebody's emailing me that, or forwarding me that, I get annoyed by it. But it is
Muppet
nice
Cupcakes.
to know that
Thanks
people
for
are
sending this
thinking
to
of
me.
us. Yeah.
So when are you getting your Beauregard tattoo? If you were going to have a Beauregard tattoo, what would it be? What would it say? What position? Like what are you picturing for if you had to have a Beauregard tattoo?
I think it would be a picture of onions, and it would say, "I thought these were peaches." Or
that's a good
like
one.
That.
Oh yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, Ryan, what's yours?
My instinct is something from The Great Muppet Caper. Just like, did you want me to stop or what? Maybe something like that.
That's good. Yeah.
Or I'm lucky just to have a driver's license. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that all the time.
Mine would just say, lobby.
Sure. That's all you need.
But that's more related to your friend, though, right? Like, that's more just
you're nitpicking my fake tattoo, Noah.
The tattoo you're never going to get.
It's so about Beauregard.
But if anybody asked, you could easily say that is the last word of a funny quote from The Great Muppet Caper, where he says, "I can only take you as far as the lobby." And so it's not too much context.
I feel like it's a bad idea to get any tattoo that you have to explain over and over again.
Well,
I feel like that would get real old real fast.
That's why I'm never going to get my Hugga Wugga tattoo.
I met someone once who had a Cookie Monster tattoo. It was like that original sketch of Cookie Monster.
Oh yeah,
it's just like a little fur ball. And so this person had it on her bicep, and then on her forearm had a little tattoo of a cookie.
Oh, that's great.
Would do like when she would close her arm, it was like Cookie Monster was eating the cookie.
Oh wow,
yep,
that's clever.
That was pretty good. But again, you have to do that every time someone's like, "Look at that tattoo." You're like, "Look what it does."
This is why,
Right.
Huh.
So, how do we get out of this podcast?
I suggest we make a U-turn.
Right.
Looks like steering wheel souffle for dinner.
Again.
70 Years, 70 Muppets is a Muppet Fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. hosted by a whole myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Jared Fairclough. The Muppet 70 logo used with permission by the Muppet Studio with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reif-Snyder and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow toughpigs.com on all social media platforms. You can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or buying a t-shirt at tpublic.com/toughpigs.